we push that button on, and then everybody can hear us. And they can hear you purring, so you might want to tone it. You might want to tone it down a bit, buddy. You're just a little bit loud this morning. Hey? Goodness. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Chandlers Cottage. It is Sunday morning, 8 a.m. here. And wherever you are, I hope you're really well. And thank you so much for joining me this morning. As you can see, somebody wanted to come and join us this morning. You can say good morning, Jen. Thought you would have had enough after all your socialising yesterday. Don't do that to the camera after all your socialising yesterday. But welcome. We had a lovely day here yesterday because we were open. We had some lovely visitors who came and enjoyed morning tea on the veranda with our scones, and I've just realised I have no lipstick on. Oh, it's going to be one of those mornings. You don't mind, do you? I hope not. Rob's bringing me raisin toast in a minute because I just went, I'm hungry. So you're going to have to put up with me eating or I won't make it through the show. So we had a lovely day. It's going to be another glorious day today. But I'm going to be spending most of mine. I'm going to make myself sit and do some hand sewing on the veranda in between moving the sprinklers. Because while we did have some rain, it's now been dry again. It's been so warm. It's such a warm start to autumn. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I hope you've got a lovely day planned after we spend a little bit of time together. Sorry. Good morning, Nancy. Good morning, Rosemary. He is here, Rosemary. He's manning the toaster at the moment. I can see you're here, Rose. Good morning to you. Hello, Donna, Rosalind. Shauna, good morning. Thanks, Nance. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone soon too. Chris, good morning to you. Have you got fog up your way this morning? Or you might be smoky like us from all of the bonfires that are being lit because the fire restrictions have been raised. And I think we're doing ours Easter weekend. Kathy, good morning. Liz, I can see you're here. Good morning, Louise. Barb, Beryl, I owe you an email. Is that correct? I think I do. And I have been thinking about your question. And I will get back to you probably today. Pauline Boyke, good morning. Hello, Rita. Doreen Brooks is here from over the other side of town. Thank you, Rita. Good morning, Dell. Good morning. Wendy, I can see you're here. I can see Sally's here. Good morning. And Liz, it's a bit of a roll call, isn't it? Francis, hi. I've lost my other pair of glasses in the garden, and Rob put these back together for me. These are the broken pair. These were the backup pair, but they're still a little bit crooked. So I'm taking them off for a minute. Gail Bernadette, good morning to you. So as you can see, super bright stand this morning. This is a range called Caravan. As you know, I'm a bit fussy and I do regularly pick and choose from a collection, but this is one of these rare occasions where I just went, I gotta have it all. And I don't know if it's Jason's influence. I think I ordered this around the time that Vivid arrived. And it gave us something a little bit different, but it's still in those beautiful, joyous, bright colours. So for a lot of you, I know it will be outside your comfort zone. But I think heading into winter, a little bit of joy and a few flowers and things might be really nice to work with to brighten up the sewing room when it's a bit gloomy and grey outside. If you heading into winter, and then if you're in the UK and you're heading into summer, well, woohoo, you'll be able to swing yourself with a really nice beach bag at the beach. That is not for you. That was not for you. I have never done this to you, have I? Have I eaten with you on? Sorry. We just won't. We make it through. And Rob brought home this. I feel so bad. Sorry. I won't make it. Don't talk with your mouth full. All right. So where do we start? Well, first of all, I did want to tell you that we are going to have a little bit of a play this morning. I've got an idea, and I thought I love doing this with you, where we try something else and we try something out and we talk it through, and if it doesn't work, we switch it around. And I like doing that because it really is that whole self-taught thing, and you can retain a lot more information and get a lot more logic to your methods if you make it up as you go. However, I'm going to do it before you do it, so that if I have made a mistake, you're not cursing me that you've got to throw a little bit in the scrap pile because we made a boo-boo. So I'm gonna do it this morning. Anyway, let's have a look at these fabrics first, because when I put the overhead camera on, I can scoff another quarter of raisin toast and you won't be able to see me. So let's, oh, you can see the raisin toast. I want to show you the big print first, and I want to explain also what I've done with quantities, because I have mixed them around a little bit if you would like them to buy them by the metre or by the half metre. So this is the main, I'd say the biggest and the main print. You did not see that bit of raisin toast going, sorry. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Maureen. Good morning, Christine. How are you this morning? Hi, Carol. Good morning to you. Is that not just glorious? So for all of you little fussy cutters out there, this is going to be a joy. For those of you that just love a great big beach bag, grab that free download Melba tote pattern that we've been using a lot this year off the website. You can see here you've got a 60 centimetre repeat, 24 inch, but don't worry if you're getting chopping off some of your hexagons, you will pick them up on the others. On the other side. Right, toast going in. So you can see you've just got so much to play with. I'll measure them for you so you know how big they are. Point to point, 5 1/4, sides, 2 3/4. So the most important thing to note, they have given us 1/2 inch on this sashing. So if you did want to, you could come through and actually cut them down and have your seam line right on the edge. And cast your mind back to last week when we did the hexi table topper. You could use this to create one of those. Just saying, it would be really lovely to do. But it's just lovely. I love it. And also, we're looking at it as in the hexagons, but keep in mind you could then come through and take all these gorgeous little triangles in between and paste these together to sit as a block in between these on a contrast background. And we'll come to talking contrast backgrounds in a minute. But you could do that. The other thing, we're looking at it en masse to use, and we're sort of seeing this big flower pattern, but you could come through here and use the strip. So my brain just before we went live, and I haven't tagged it on the website, but the twisted, Melba twisted knitting bag, if you have a look at that, if you just want to write that down, have a look later, this would be your fabric above and below the pin tuck twists, and then you could use ombres and things, again, we'll get to in a minute, in between. You have a stunning bag. I'm so cross with myself. I only bought one bolt, but what I did, I just went in and clicked whole collection with the distributor. So that was annoying. Of course, the other thing that we're thinking about at the moment is even when all these tariffs come in, this fabric for me would have to come out of America. It won't be coming straight from the mill. So it's even more extra special because this would outprice us. We wouldn't be able to bring this in anymore. So, because I wouldn't be able to get this directly from the mill because it's not mine and it's not Jason's. So it's, to me then, it's even extra special. That's beautiful. Okay, so that's the first one I wanted to show you, and that's the one you can see up on the wall. The search word for today is Caravan, so I've named it after the range. So pretty much everything we're going to talk about is under that word if you pop that in the little window at the top on the website. Okay, Bree and I had fun with these yesterday. Now, there are two glorious fun prints. Melissa, if you're watching, I'm channeling your lovely quilt because this has got that kind of vibe going on, the one you've got at AQC this week. Oh, fun, fun, fun. And then it comes in yellow. Now the blue is beautiful, but this is just joyous. Look at the yellow. So these ones I've set up as we usually do to sell in 1/2 metre lengths. The repeat on it is not that big. I'm never eating on, I'm not doing this again. I'm going to get rid of this. I can't talk to you with a mouthful of toast. That little bit of sugar hopefully will get me through. This has only got this repeat here. So it is an unusual one. It's about 16 inches. So, see, there's the repeat, and there's the repeat there. And you can see it there, and you can see it there. So again, we'll talk about bags and things, but it's lovely. What if they put on? Oh, did you see the selvage? Look at the selvage. Look at this. Look, caravans. Oh, I've got a little bit of selvage envy. Don't get me wrong, I've got cute ones coming, but that's pretty cute. Very, very cute. Okay, so these are half-metre increments to get these ones. I'll pop those up there for a tick. Then we come down to quite a few gorgeous different ones. Now I can pull them all down. I'll pull you the fat quarter bundle because this is the little bit of joy in here. There is one more that's not in the fat quarter bundle. Maybe we shouldn't have done it up, but this is the one I'm going to play with this morning, so I'll undo this one. You can have a look here. There is one more fabric that is not in the fat quarter bundle, and it's this beautiful thing here. So this is the border print. So just continuous parallel to the selvage. You might get a little thrown when you have a look at the photo on the website. We've used the photos from the designer's website, and it's sitting the opposite way to what you would expect running this. I think you look at it maybe that way, and your brain might think that the selvage is here, but it does actually run parallel with it. Okay, so let's undo this, and then we can have a look at all the others. So this is the big one that I've got hanging up over here. It's got that sort of orange peel stained glass effect going on, which is really, really lovely. Good morning, Yvonne. Oh, that's a shame. Never mind. Oh, well, yes, you can always watch us later. That's absolutely fine. From a very foggy Richmond in New South Wales. Is it really foggy up there? Oh, who said, oh my God. Yes, Gidget. There's always food here. There's always food. In the studio, we serve high teas in our shop, and I've never had a fear of fabric and food. They are my two staples in life. So yes, there is food. Look at that. So that is just lovely. And this one sells by the half metre, but the fat quarter bundle has got the eight fabrics in it. Do you want a close up? It's got little dots and diamonds. I just want to ruche it, you know me. But of course, if you were to cut little Dresden wedges or something out of this, you've got all this beautiful tonal effect happening for flower petals as well. It would be just super. So it's very telly-sally this morning, isn't it? But it's more like a show and tell. Let me get all of these ones out. So there's a beautiful, beautiful vibrant green. So you've got 8 in this pack, and then I have popped in a little freebie for you. There. Then we've got these paisleys. There's 2 of these. There's one on this beautiful dark sort of royal purple blue, which is that one. Oh, you know what I just said about Dresden? See, look, there's little Dresden flowers in there. See these? Look at these. Aren't they pretty? So pop that one down there. This is the other one. So pretty on a cream. So it really, it's a contrast to go with all of them, but this just on its own, for little purses and wallets and a beautiful delicate coloured quilt would be just Lovely. Then this one is what I'm calling the patchwork print. It has little squares on point. I might bring this one over the other way because I'm kind of running out of room over there. Let's go this way. You can see that lots of beautiful little different designs in each one. They've sort of done it so it looks like it's been pieced together, but then they've come through and overlaid these beautiful big stylized flowers over the top. You can see here some really clever design work has gone into this. And the other thing that's quite unusual about this collection that makes it special too is something that is not often done. So we've got what we call flat design, which is where there's no real definitive toning in the print. So this would be what I would call flat here. So it's just a flat purple, like a Northcote Colourworks, if you like, just a solid colour. But then in the next section they've got the toning. So there's a real definite use of both colouring and tonal effects to get a really unique look. So that one's just super as well. And this one is going to make your fingers itchy to get straight to the sewing machine and add your walking foot, because all I want to do with this is grab some of our foam batting and back it and quilt it. I just want to do this on a really nice firm rubber foam batting to make a purse with. Isn't that just great? So the freebie that I've popped in for you in this pack is, of course, Toscana in the ivory that we've been using, and because it is just the perfect match to the background that's happening with these lighter shades that have been used in the collection. So that's what I've popped in for you, so that you've got one to use with it if you need it, maybe to do some applique, a little peeper or something over the top, but these two go really nicely together. Now, on that note as well, while I've got this one here, I also just had a look at threads today, because a lot of the time you ask me to match up threads. You're just going to want a 101 confetti if you don't have a good off-white in your stash at the moment. Toscana and this is really, really good. And we've also popped up yesterday Tutti. I went through and had a look at our threads in terms of a variegated, perhaps that would work really well across the collection. This is Tutti Colour 30. So what you've got to remember about Tutti is that it is the same as confetti, it's the same weight, but it's variegated. And this green is just fantastic with all of these. So if you did want a variegated green for a contrast along the way with these or with any of them, this one's really, really good. So you can see that sitting there. And also the other thing about your variegateds is that you can use them just to sew with. The whole idea is they're like a blend of fabric in the equivalent in a thread. So they work really well for hand and machine piecing as well, when you've got this sort of thing going on and this sort of thing. But I think if I'm going to quilt this, I'm just going to use this colour on it in there. In case I do just stray, I'm not absolutely perfectly straight, but I'm suspecting that it's going to be quite easy to sit in the middle of these lines, because it's a bit like driving down a dirt road without a line in the middle. If the road, and a little bit like trying to operate a 9mm white sewing machine rather than a 5.5, the narrower the road, the easier it is for you to stay in the middle, and the wider the road, the harder it is to judge and stay in the middle. So I'm hoping that that theory works when I get to quilting some of that as well. Anyway, so that's our pack that I have put together for you this morning, and that's all under Caravan with all of the fabrics as well. Who'd I miss? Denise, good morning. Oh, who else rocked up while I was talking? Someone else did, because they said good morning. Janet Kruger, hello to you. Thank you very much. I can't take credit for the fabrics. I can only take credit for buying them on impulse for us all. I know you, I'm just filling in dead air, mate. I know. I love food. It is the Triple C, isn't it? I mean, we're all in that secret little club called the Triple C Club, which is Coffee, Cake and Company, or Coffee, Cake and Craft. So you can decide which one. Maybe we just need to make it the 4 C's. Coffee, Cake, Craft and Company. It's a club. Because it's going to need a badge or something, isn't it? It's going to need something. But that's always what we've always called it. That's kind of what I call a work in progress day, or a WIP day, or a retreat, or something where you just all get together. It's the 4C day. I'm just going to stand here and fold these up again because Bree did such a beautiful job yesterday. I'm finally feeling quite guilty. I've pulled it apart, but we are going to use some. So that, I'll show you this bolt en masse, so you can see it like that. How's that? I'll lay that down here. A few other little things that I just grabbed out of the shop as well, because if you're starting to think about what goes with what where. These are under Caravan too. So this is our aqua zip with the ombre teeth. So I can lay that across there for you, and it picks up all the colours in there beautifully across the top. And with that we grabbed the star. All of the rainbow pulls that we have on the website will go, but we grabbed the rainbow star zip pulls just because we thought that was a good look to go with this themed fabric. Actually, I'm going to bring this over here for you. I'll lay that down on there. And then these are our zip pulls. And the stars. So these are the solid ones, you know, the new ones that we got. They're not the, we've got the outline ones. But somehow the little points on the stars were quite reminiscent of the triangle shapes as well. So I thought that was quite cool. And I love the royal blue colour zip that we have. Particularly with this one. Sorry about the noise. There you go. So the royal blue looks great with these. And I thought I'd grabbed, maybe I didn't, but all of the gold zip pulls go with them. I must have missed picking them up, but I really liked the snowflake zip pulls because of the shape of them, because they're hexagonal, and I thought that would go. But again, this will go with all of our gold zips that are on the website. And the other one that I grabbed off the shelf, and actually I might show it to you with this. And also, look at me, I've already trashed the stand. Look at it. Just the stand. Trash the table. Trashing the stand is something we commonly talk about when we reminisce about doing craft shows like AQC that's on this week. This one, I want to get this one up. So this one has a little bit more pink and purple going on, as this one does. And then we'll grab this one back. And we've got these zips now that are this beautiful bright pink. I can see Lois is here, Gail's here, good morning. Hi Bridget, hello Floria. Linda Clarence is in the building. Elizabeth is here from Texas, hello. Oh, gorgeous. We've got some Costa Ricans in the building. Yay. Okay, look at this one. See that? That's just beautiful with it. It really, really picks up the pink. So that would make a beautiful contrast for you to use with this one. And look, so pretty with it. And Bree and I thought, oh, we did grab the hexagons as well. That's what's going on. I grabbed hexagons and cats. So these are our snowflakes, which are a hexagonal shape. There you go. So you can see that there. Just perfect with it. I'll set that one there for you. And then also, I get in so much trouble for undoing all these packs to show you. And they have to be repacked. And then don't forget, we've also got our pussycats. So our pussycat zips, pulls. I just think they're really good fun, and I just sort of, you know, I got that whole bohemian vibe thing going on, and I just thought these little cats were just fun and perfect to go with this as well. I'll just bring them over this way for you. There you go. Putty cat, putty cat. Not you. And she's looking at me going, what? There you go. Just fun. Really, really good fun. And I think we all need just a little bit of fun, don't we? I think so. Oh, someone just hit the floor. We'll come back for that. So, lots of bag furniture. There's a whole heap there. And don't forget, if you want to know what goes with what, just email me and ask me. Or if you're ordering something and you need a thread or a zip or something to go with it, just pop it in the comments, because what we do is we have a look and we get back to you, have a chat, and then we just pop it onto your order for you. I couldn't resist popping out our Waratah mugs this morning as well, because the colours just matched perfectly. And I thought, well, we're coming up to that what do I buy month for Mother's Day time. And we don't have a lot of giftware at the moment, but our Waratah mugs are pretty special. We are hoping to get some teal ones before the Creative Escape, so I will keep you posted on those. But for now, the colours that we've got go very well with the fabric. So they were a lot of fun to put up there. Jason's interwoven packs that we've got ahead of the fabric. These are really lovely with it as well. They just pick up. Look. Just so good. So good with them. So I had to put those out. But then to go with all of our prints that are in this pack and the ones on the wall, however you want to get it, I did put together an ombre gelato pack, because just I had to do it. So I've done fat quarters this time. I'll pull this one back down to show you. And it all started because I walked past two new ones. I haven't even put them up on the website yet, that we have got in. And just lay that out there. I haven't got them up on the website. They'll go up today. But they've put them in the new fat quarter pack for you. So this is it. So you remember with our gelatos, they change colour from the selvage in, and it switches over in the middle. So they might go dark to light in the middle, or they might change colours across and that colour matches in the middle and mirror images on the other side. So when you cut it down into a fat quarter, you get all of the colours because the other side of the bolt would have been the same. Oops. So this is one that sits here, and it does every now and then surprisingly have many, many friends. And you can see that this one works really well here. So it picks up this beautiful purple mauve down one end, through the pink and out to the bright yellow at the other end. So if I open that up, you can see what I mean, that it is a whole fat quarter, and then it would have mirror imaged on the other side of the bolt. So this is ruching, this is bias work, it is infinite colours for you to play with, for applique, for piecing, all of that. I'm going to fold that one back up that way. Depending on how I fold it, it changes the whole look of the pack. Look at this one. So all of the colours in here, if I hone in on this square hexagon here, can you see that? All of these colours are in here. That's just freaky. Just amazing. And then all of these ones here are in this one. So they're all going to give you, just not just for this bundle. I have linked them on the website, but not just for this bundle. Again, here we've got all the beautiful teals. They show up in here in these little triangles and also down in this block. Now I think this is one of the new ones I haven't got up. Stunning. This one's very similar to those that did the advent calendar. It's very similar to the one that we did with the bubble tea, and it's in the teos as well. Very similar, just slightly brighter down to a lime green, which is in here at this end. You can see how much fun we had, can't you? There's our beautiful pink to purple. This one we do use a lot, but you've now got it in a fat quarter. And again, if I come down and look at this block down here, it's fantastic. This beautiful thing's back. I can't cope when this one's not in, because it's just my oh, they're all my favorites, but this one I love. So you can see here down to deep purple, and then all of these colors are all showing up in here, and this is the one I showed you first. So you've got 6 fat quarters there, and I've done those just a little bit better price for you in a bundle this morning. So there has not been, is it mutiny? Is it a walk off the job? A protest? A go slow? It hasn't happened yet, but based on our Maywood Shadow Play limited edition 75 fat quarter offer that's on at the moment, which I have not tagged under today's show, and I should have. If you put the word mega into the search window, actually please, if you do want one, can you please order because we are down to, I have to cut again in the next 2 days. I have 4 orders. If I haven't shipped yours yet, yours are being cut in the next couple of days. The team's a little bit over fat quarters. Can I just put it like that? And that includes me. They're like, I mean, you know Susie. Susie's so lovely. She's not going to say anything, but I just know one day she may just sit down. She never sits down. I'm just fear the day she sits down with a cuppa and just looks at me and just smiles. And I go, oh no, it's over. It's over. So if you do want some, please order it as quick as you can, because I think this might be our last run, because we have to pull 75 bolts off the shelf and cut all the fat quarters. So, and we're only doing them to order. So if you do want one, put the word mega in, have a look. It's an amazing deal. It's a big money ticket, but it's an amazing deal. And then we're done, because now we're going to do all of these. Joy, joy, joy. But how could I not give you a fat quarter bundle of these? Look. I'm not folding all of them again. Sorry, it's not happening. I'm going to put them up on the wall. I'll put them up there. I can just sit there and look. Oh, sit there and look at us. So, in terms of projects, they're all lovely. And you think, well, what am I going to do with them? And I totally agree. So I had a little bit of a play with some of the projects that we've got, and maybe some that you've already played with before. So some of the ones we've done maybe last year, this year, or maybe a pattern that you've got in your stash perhaps from us earlier. Oh, look at you all lovely people. Hello, Fiona. Yes, they're very, very nice. They are really, really nice. Oh, thank you so much everyone for joining me this morning. I never, you know what? Not once, not even in the sub-zero temperatures of winter have I ever said, I don't want to get up for a morning show. Robert, he'll say, yes, you did. And I'll say, no, I would have complained how cold it was, but I would never have complained about catching up with you on a Sunday morning. It's lovely. What happens too after a Sunday show? It's sort of our little, kind of day together where we'll be a bit of gardening and after a busy week and things. So it's sort of, yeah, it's a really nice way to start a Sunday for us. It's lovely. It's like having brunch with friends without the smashed Avo on toast price tag. Just cold raisin toast sitting over there. Okay, projects. So I wanted to come up with something that, sorry, I've got a rummage in here again. I wanted to come up with something that we could have a little bit of a play with. And I was walking past the shelf with our magnetic buckles. And there's this drop dead gorgeous bright green one that goes with all of these, and so I immediately tagged it under Caravan. Let me show you. Let me pop it down here. Look. In an evil way, he, because it just pulls up the green. And, you know, green's not the first buckle we would think of using at all, but it looks really, really good. And it looks, hang on. Oh, that was, did you hear that? That was all the gelatos hitting the floor. Never mind. I mean, it's a perfect match. I can't believe it. It was so good. So now I've only got 10 of these, but don't worry, I have already done a panic email to my supplier. If we run out, don't worry, what will happen is I will hopefully get a reply today. They work every day of the week, so hopefully they will reply, and I will put up whatever we can get. Oh, okay, Gidget, what you need to do is go chandlerscottage.com. And if Rob's listening, he will put the link in comments for you, but it's just chandlerscottage.com. That's it. So, look at that with that. So we need more green buckles. Stat. So please don't worry if it's showing temporarily out of stock. I will update it. And if we don't have it in stock when I send your order, we'll just send it out as a back order post free for you. But look, just perfect. So with that, I thought we needed to have a look at our buckle bag. Now, what happens with the magnetic buckle, buckle satchel, what happens is when you order a pair of buckles, we send you out an inner pack with this pattern. And so what I'm doing today, if you order, I'm just going to send you the pattern, just a copy of the pattern. You might already have it if you bought the pair of buckles. These green ones we sell singularly, but if you buy this in a pack, you get the instructions with it. So I'm just going to send this to you. So you've got it. So it's got a picture on the front, pattern on the back, and I'll show you what it looks like. Here's the one we prepared earlier, as they say. So this one kind of looks okay with two. However, we're going to think about that. I want to kind of do it so we only need one green one, okay? So we're going to have a play with this. So I'm going to send you this so you can play. The other great thing about the dimensions of this one is, I only put one of the fat quarter bundles out. You can make it all up with your fat quarter bundle because nothing in here is wider or higher than a fat quarter. So if you wanted to, you could really have some fun and use a fabric for here, a fabric for here, a fabric for here, fabric for here, or mix it all up, cut them all down. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I want to try with you in a second, but I'm going to send you this pattern if you order anything from today's show. It doesn't matter if you order a glue stick, one spool of thread, I'm still going to send you the pattern that we put in with our buckles. Now, this little pack here I have tagged though because the tan ones look really good with some of the prints as well. So we've got these ones in stock. We've also got black and we've got red, but the tan's kind of singing to me a fair bit, particularly these ones that have got this beautiful rusty orangey brown going on in there as well. So that one's really lovely with it. When you put that up there on its own, it's sort of, with these two and these, it takes on a more muted effect. They're quite incredible. So the tan ones are there as well, and of course they're just a great neutral colour in that sort of natural leather colour that will go with a lot of different things as well. So we're going to play with that, but for those also that have got their traveller pattern, you might have one of those already, and if not, I've popped that under today. This is a much bigger project, of course, but this would be a great bag, and again, it's got one buckle on the back. So This is a Monica bag. Monica, my mate from Naughty Quilters. I'm just channeling her at the moment. Wicked. But you've got, look, even again, the fat quarter bundle is going to give you 2 meters plus the piece of ivory Toscana. There is no reason why you can't make an eclectic bag with this, because you need 1.5 meters lining, 1.5 meters for the outer bag, so it's 3 meters, but you've got 2 in here, and the lining, you can use anything that you've got for the lining. So you could come through and do this in one print, this in a print, this in a print, this in a print, all different. Use another one for the panel, use one for the back, use one for here, one for here. You could just do the whole bag as a celebration of the prints. I've also tagged a Toscana that I've still got here that's on special. This is Toscana Blue Yonder. This blue is great with these prints. So if I lay that down here, I can show you. So you can see this looks fantastic. So I've only got a little bit of this left, but this would be an example where I'd go, okay, I'll grab 1/2 meter of that and my fat quarter bundle. When you're finished, you're still going to have lots of beautiful pieces left over to use with other things, but you could have a great, just a great time and a great result out of using all of these different ones here. Thanks, Robbie. Hello, Pam. How are you this morning? I can see you're here. Sue Merton, good morning to you. Okay, so there you go. So that one's going to look super duper as well. What else did I hang? Oh, yes. And again, I was kicking some fur ball out of a basket. Now, under one of the tables here in the shop, we have a large basket that I botted off Marg. That's just been great to sit here. We had it, you might remember, I had something in it at the Creative Escape last year at the hall. I don't remember, but I botted it for that. And then it stayed in here, and I've had all my leftover handbag samples that we're finished with sitting in it. And her ladyship gets in there and sleeps under there and has twice spent the night in the shed because we've come in and called her and she has not responded. And then every morning I have to go and find her, panicking she's missing. No, she's still asleep in the basket. In the basket, when I walked past this morning to kick her out, I found a favourite of mine. This is one of my bags that I actually have used a lot, but it's ended up back in the shed. And this is the treasure tote bag. So this is made with one of our metal frames, and I did this one. Again, you get the pattern with it. But what happens is, actually, Robbie, can you check that I have, he's not here, he's out there somewhere, but he's listening. Can you check that I have tagged the treasure totes in all 3 colours? I think I've only tagged the silver one. This is the treasure tote. You get the pattern with the frame, but what I did with this one, I forget what I called it now. It had a name. Instead of just doing the panels all plain, I cut up strips. So you want to end up with panels that are 18 inches wide, finished, so 18.5 with the seam allowance. So you can just go through, instead of having a plain bag, if you wanted to with your fat quarter bundle, you could have a wide bit, a narrow bit, put a little pin tuck in, maybe do a plain one down here with your Toscana, and then do some little EPP in the strip down it. Just make it a really fun eclectic bag and use all these beautiful prints in it, and make up your own. Now I tagged the silver yesterday because of the brightness of the colours. I thought that the silver looked great. I was a little bit hesitant about the gold. I've only got mine here with the gold on. But I think it would depend, like say I wouldn't go gold there, but I would go gold there because there's slightly warmer colours going on in this one. But the other one, I was surprised this morning. I pulled out the gunmetal, and the gunmetal pretty much goes with everything because it is literally that silver black colour. So all of them sort of have, oh, looks really good with the yellow. Hang on. Let's get that down. See, I like that. That's very nice. and that's the silver. They're both good, but I like this. So can you imagine just doing this bag? I set that this way, and we could just run little strips of all different colours. You could perhaps put one on the back panel, just pick your favourite and have one on the back, and then just like I did with mine, just run. Oh no, I think I got him out of the veggie patch. I can hear him. Oops. You just have a really, really fun bag. Now, with these ones, of course, you can run the stripe that way, or you might choose to go through and select a section to use from the pale, the middle fuchsia pink, or the purple that's on there. You know what I think about bags, and I wrote it in that design book. Bags are a fantastic medium to try out colours that you haven't used before, because it's a smaller project, and it's just and adding the little element of perhaps 3D or another feature in gives you the opportunity to try out different colours with different techniques. So I've always said to people, if they're hesitating a little bit when going to make a purple, orange and green quilt, I go, well, before you buy all the fabric for that king size double wedding ring or whatever it is, just buy a few fat quarters of those colours first and make a bag with them, because then you're going to end up with something that's practical. I need cushions for my veranda in this. Those that have been here would know we have started a very large eclectic collection of cushions on the veranda for all the chairs, but I think we need one in this. And so the bag's just a great way to play with those colours in a small project first, and then decide. So if you're hesitating about these, I'm feeling quite confident, I hope you'll accept that if you did make a bag with it, you're going to really enjoy making it, and whether those colours you never use again, but as a bag to wear with a pair of jeans and a white shirt, it's going to be great. Now this is the other one, and I don't have this bag. I think Maria's got it. I think it's in Spain. This is the designer tote, and this was designed for feature fabrics and then putting a whole heap of smaller pieces with them. So I just want to show you this one. Can you see that down there? It's got this lovely large flap. If you wanted a kit of this tomorrow or this week, you would ring Angela at So Bright Quilting. She's got some made up with Jason's Vivid fabrics that are just beautiful. But you can see I've used my butterfly print and then a whole heap of little strippy ones underneath, the little pin tuck, and then you have enough left over to make 2 little purses as well. Hi Ginny. So with this beautiful buckle that I've got, I would be heading towards probably one of these prints for the feature, or the yellow, or this to do the big flap on the front. You'll get a closer photo of it when you hop in on the website. It's under Caravan, but that would be it. And then all of the others that are your little fat quarter packs, because you'd use one for your flap, you could use for all the little strips that are underneath it. So that's another one that would just be a great way to celebrate all of the colours without doing a huge quilt and then going afterwards, yeah, don't think so. But I'd always use a bag made with this. This would just be lovely. I'll pop that one back up there. Right. And yeah, that's that cobalt blue. Well, it's, what's it called? Blue Yonder. That's in Toscana as well. So they're just a couple of other ideas that I think would be great. What? Oh, are you quite right? You can see where it is? It's sitting on the bag. You right? Let me just put these underneath. I shouldn't be surprised at all. Now, what I wanted to do this morning was just play a little bit with this whole concept of creating one of these satchels, but messing a little bit with the front flap. Can I have that back? Thanks. Can I have that back? Thanks. Anything else I can have? Can I have the cutting mat? Thank you. Unbelievable. All right, I want to mess with this. So this is the pattern that you're going to get with an order, or if you've already got your buckles, you've got it, or if you order some buckles as a pair in the pair packs, like the tan ones, you'll get it. So the front flap, plain fabric contrast, feature fabric. So, any glasses? I'm sorry. Give me a minute. So what you do with this, from the plain fabric, let me tell the measurements first. Feature fabric for this, it says 1 meter. Well, we all know we're going to do it from fat quarters, so that doesn't matter. And then, so from our feature fabric, we're going to cut 8 pieces that are 8 inches high by 15.5 wide. Now, the reason that you do that, it's not... Nah. Thank you. The reason that you do that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's for all of the pockets and everything. So you can do those with any fabrics. You could have every single one of those different if you wanted to. But for the simplicity of the pattern that comes with the buckles, we do it with the one fabric. So these need to be 8.5 high by 15.5 wide. So if you look at this at the moment, we could probably go down just a little bit further on one side, and we could probably curve off a bit up here. So that's what I'm going to do. 8.5 by 15. Right, let's grab. Well, now I have to choose. I'll choose this one. Now, obviously, along the way, you're going to be adding stabilizer, bag batting, whatever you're going to be doing. I think I've recommended with this bag probably just a 640 Palin or something, because it is a soft bag, but that's going to be your preference depending on whether what you're going to use it for. If it's going to be for iPad or a laptop, and not just your sewing supplies or your trip to the library for books and magazines, you might want something a little bit sturdier. I'm going to cut this way. Now it said 8.5 high. I actually want mine to be a little bit longer than that. So I'm going to cut a piece that is 10. Maybe, yeah, 10. I'll go 10. Now this is the point where I say no laughing, because we are making this up as we go. The idea's in my head, it doesn't mean it's going to work. But I'll take one for the team and see where we get to. Good morning, Angela. I've just been talking about you. Did you want that bit of fabric that just hit the floor? Okay, 15.5 wide it is. So you can see that's going to be my front flap, and we've got masses left over. That up there. So with this, I actually want to change it a little bit. I want to curve. I want to curve off that corner, and I want to curve this one off here. And I sort of want to take it up like that. Plates. Hang tight. I've got to get the plate, the raisin toasts on. Nope. Cold raisin toast is not a good idea. Okay. I'm going to curve this corner off. Oh, you won't see that. I'll do it in a Sharpie. And the front flap is bagged out, so I can draw on the front for now and just cut it down. And this side, I'm going to take it up a little bit higher. I'm going to turn this round. bring that down like that. It probably would have been better with a bigger plate, but you'll have one handy because you're not out in your shed. So now I've got this shape going on, so I'll cut that down. And that's going to be better. Let's audition it. That's going to be better for putting my buckle on if I'm only going to use one buckle. Or what you can do, because this is a bagged out flap, you can pop in just a little piece of elastic as a loop in the bottom seam, and then that could be to hook over a really pretty button or a self-covered button. What a great excuse to go to the button shop to find a perfect button. Okay, so that's my new flap shape, just like that. And that, if we set it over our bag, just to audition it, and remembering it will lose a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and that is going to sit like that. Now, it is too long, but watch this. This comes over from the back, so that actually sits right over in that seam over there. Oh, that's awfully good fun. So that's how that would look. Should we try it with the tan as well? Still fine. Probably, as I said, better with one of the other fabrics, but it's pretty good. Now I want to mess with it, because you know I can't help myself. So I want to mess with this. I actually want to do a reverse applique here on the front, like we did our Easter egg last week. So I've grabbed a cup, a bowl, just to audition it, because I can't help feeling it would be really nice to kind of mimic one of these flowers that's in across all of this collection. So I want a little reverse applique circle, either here or here. I think I'm going to run it from this side because I'm thinking I can use this to do a bias strip up to a flower in here. So I know, a bit much for a Sunday morning, but we're going to do it. So like we did with the Easter egg last week, I'm going to grab a little bit of total support. So you can use freezer paper, whatever you want to use. This is, you know, this, I'm in love with this stuff. So I'm just going to chop a piece off there. Put it back in the box that says Leesa, so she doesn't use a new one. And we're going to draw on our circle. Save that bit for later. So this is to do our reverse applique, okay? Draw that on. We'll just fold it in half, enough so we can snip into the center. And then we're going to cut the circle out so we've got a big circle hole. And you might want to grab another cuppa, because today I'm not going to shortcut like I did with the Easter egg. I am going to glue over the seam allowance. Okay, so now we've got our circle. Pop it on the ironing mat. Remove the rubble. So we're going to put it up this end, aren't we? So I think, keeping in mind, remember I said that a lot of this goes up and over onto the other side. So perhaps I'll align it with this curve over here, just a little bit, like that. So we'll iron it on. So I've got the adhesive side down. And so with total support, remember, we can take it off later or we can just leave it in. I'm just going to lift this side just a little bit because I just think that might annoy me to have extra hanging over the edge of the bag flap. There we go. And just that little bit off there. Grab our scissors again, and we're going to snip into our seam allowance here, which is now on the inside, and that's sort of where you get that whole, oh, that's why it's called reverse, because it feels wrong that you've actually got a seam allowance inside the circle, not on the other side. So we cut round here. So I've gone a circle. You can do any shape depending on what you're using, of what you're doing. You might like to do a hexagon because of those beautiful big hexagons, and then put a hexagon flower in the middle. That would also be pretty cool. So that's our piece. We'll add to the scrap basket to use for later, or a Suffolk puff or two, and then we're going to clip into our seam right round. So I'm going to need to choose a colour to go inside, and I think it might be one of these lovely tonals. We'll audition them in a second when I've got round the circle. I think it's going to be one of these, not the green, because I'm going to use that definitely for the bias stem. And just while I'm doing this, I'm popping out another newsletter with these fabrics in to people, that for you to see sort of in a newsletter, but also we have a lot of lovely customers that don't watch us on Facebook, so they will get to see these in the next couple of days. But also in that newsletter, I'll pop in some other information and just dates for you to remember for the year, with our creative escape dates for winter and spring, because we've sold our autumn. You're most welcome to wait list if you want to for autumn, in case someone can't come, unfortunately. But I'll pop those in. I'll pop in the dates for the Melbourne exhibition again, so you've got those as well. And I've got a few spots left for Megan's workshop and a couple of left for mine. Oh, what a shame I didn't remember to bring out a cuticle stick. I've just still got the satay stick out here. Never mind. So we'll get these folded over. And we talked, didn't we, the other night about fabric pricing and the impact of what's happening in the US and things. And I just wanted to reassure you again, a few more long-winded emails, meetings, sleepless nights, number crunchings, Excel spreadsheets, and plans, pie in the sky plans. And don't worry, I've got it still all secure for my fabrics and for Jason's, that you will not see any price rises based on tariffs. The US dollar is another story, but we think we have protected ourselves very well with our things, and I'm working very hard with Viv at the moment on bag furniture, so we're fine. So I just wanted to let you know that as well. And in terms of what I've got ordered from the States, that will be a case-by-case basis. I will honour all those orders, and I will most likely honour pricing at this end too, if we can, as best we can. But it will be based on what the suppliers decide to do. So I do feel for them greatly. Okay, there's that. Over we go. And then closer to home and in the very close future, we're open Thursday this coming week, of course, and we're not open Good Friday. And we've got our big A Quilter's Life luncheon with Priscilla Bianchi on Monday for our members. And it's last call, last call tomorrow to come, join and come, or come if you're already in the club. So please let me know, because then I start planning menus and catering and stuff, because lunch is on us on Monday, Easter Monday. And then we are opening on Anzac Day as well, so I'll put the information about that in the newsletter, and that will go up as an event. And yes, there is food involved with that as well, of course, with an Aussie feel, because it's Anzac Day. Okay, so now we've got this ready to go, and we'll audition what we're going to pop underneath. Oops, I'm upside down. So our green buckle's going to go there. I'm going to have a stem that come across here. So I need to decide. I really want a good contrast. This is going to be good, but let's just hold that thought. Let's just have a look at a couple of other options here. Probably not enough. I think we'll go this one. Yes, yes. And probably with that pale stripe in the middle. So I'll come down this end. Oh yeah. Just maybe off-centered like that. Okay, so I'm just going to cut that there. Give it an iron. We'll just trim this bit off on the edge. That way, that way. It's a really quick and simple technique, isn't it? Super quick and easy to do. What will happen with this now is you'll glue or tack, but I'm going to glue. Just dab outwards. Don't run it around the edge because you'll start to fray the cut darts on the bias. So I'll just do that. Stick this over the top. Give it a press. And then what you will do is stitch that for me, please, by machine. Remember we talked about with the Easter egg, stitch by machine. With your blanket stitch spokes outwards, or you can just top stitch in on that edge, or you can slip stitch it by hand. But that is just a really quick, easy technique to do to get a little circle. Now I need a bias strip. I was thinking about this, and you'll see I actually tagged the 1/4 inch bias maker in preparation, but I think it actually needs to be thicker than a 1/4 inch. So we're just going to hand press it, and you can see I've turned my fabric crossways on the point, and then I've folded it up so when I cut through here, my fabric will be on the bias. This is bugs. This is bugs. Angela, would you agree? This is bugs. We are talking bug wings here. Definitely. And Rob, if you're listening, my phone's about to go flat, mate. Can you grab me a charger? There's not one here plugged in, I don't think. So if you could grab me one, that would be great. So we're going to trim that through here. And I want 1/2 inch, so we're going to go 1 inch. That's way longer than I need, but we'll fold that up. So you can see I'm barely touching my fabrics, so you're going to get a lot of fun and use out of them. And we'll hit the ironing board again and just give this a press. I'm sorry, I don't know why. No, it's in. There's nothing here. I think they're all inside. That's why sorry, or I would have grabbed one. So we'll just do this by hand. And I can't say I'm really worried if I don't get a perfectly smoothed edge bias, because we're talking about some pretty funky stuff going on here. into that side. Very, very hot. Gin, quiet. Oof. You're like the equivalent to a V8 cat. Okay. Or maybe if you've got an inkling, use that total support to make a few little leaves as well and pre-shape them. So we just have to keep remembering where our buckle is going to sit. So our buckle is going to be down here. So I'd actually like to wind this across from this side into my circle. So I'm going to pop some, I don't even know where I'm plugging it into. Where am I plugging it into? Is there one on the, what?
You're overhead?
Yeah, I'm one overhead then. I can see you, you're fine. Okay, so just going to dab this down across here. And then I'm going to wind it. I'm going to come from this side. I'm going to go down a little, and then I'm going to come up. I'm going to get that whole kind of stripe thing happening there as well. So that's one option. The other one is you could also come down from the top and run it round in. But I think this way is what I want to do. I shouldn't have pulled that off, should I? I should have just left it and pointed to the other option. Let me just pop it back on. Thank you. Thank you.
It's someone that's not really there.
Where was it? Inside?
No, it's on the ground.
Oh, my bad, sorry. Now I want it to come across into the center here. This would be a great technique if you're doing a little quilt for someone with a moon, and I'm just thinking about that because Jason's samples have just arrived for a new collection called La Luna that'll be out late this year, I think. So there you go. So again, top stitch if you wish, or slip stitch on. So I'm going to have that running across on my flap, and this is where my flower's got to go. So me, I want to ruche it. I want to ruche it so bad. And we haven't really got time to ruche today, but you'll find a throwback ruching demo on my YouTube channel under Craft and Cook. One of my shows we do a whole thing on ruching, so ruche flowers, or you might already have one of my patterns. That would go well in there. But I want to show you another little one as well. I think this is going to be a ruche, but if you did a larger hole, or if you just wanted to do something with applique straight up with this range, I want to show you a little trick I worked out yesterday, just messing around with a bit of paper and actually my thread stand, but you could use a glass or anything that would actually go in here small, or it would actually come out over the edges of this a little bit. So I think this is going to be a ruche. Or a hexagon flower. Do you want to put a hexi flower in there? Something. Please put something in there, but that's going to sit there. So I want to show you this little trick. But we probably just need to finish this up. What do you think? What's going to be underneath? Am I going to put this under? Oh my goodness. Just fun. Of course, the other thing you could do, this is bagged out, but if you wanted to, you could actually bind the edge of your flap, in which case you could use this green again for the binding. It's going to be straight here, and then it's going to curve, so I would cut all of it on the bias, so just keep going with your bias edge that you've got on this and do the whole edge. But there's just lots of options that you could do. We could actually do the whole bag in this underneath, and then it's going to match up with this, which would be extremely cool, because if you could come through and match up that stripe I'll probably have to flip it around the other way. Do you see what I mean though? It would be, oh, that's a hole that you look through, but it's actually not. It's the bag panel underneath. That'd be a trick, wouldn't it? Maybe not with the green buckle though. Oh, that'd be a no. That'd have to be a purple one or something. Anyway, lots of fun to be had. And as I said, I've got that cobalt blue, so there's lots of options for you that you can use. Right, so just trying to make the most of the shapes that are coming through in this collection. Again, something that we could do on the front of the designer tote in the middle as well if you wanted to. You could always do a butterfly shape. Is to create your own little, if you like Dresden, I'm going to call them Dresden or little petals. So yesterday I grabbed my thread stand, and then it's as far as I got, so we're going to do it now. And I'm probably going to get, excuse me, enough. I'm probably going to get texture on my stand, but at least then we'll know it's mine. I want you to draw one of these on. Jim, enough. Off. Excuse me. Listen, you're going to have to take it elsewhere. Just take the bag with you. There you go. I want you to fold this in half. Well, bear with me, I'll fold it in half and see if this works. I'm just holding it up to the light so I make sure I've got it in half. So I'm just trying to see if I've got it. Either I've got it perfectly on halfway or I can't see through. Oh, I did. There you go. So you're going to fold in half like that. So hold it up to the light so you make sure you're in the middle. Then we're going to grab a small ruler that was here somewhere, or our dirty big ruler, and draw a line down through the middle, down that fold that you've got. We're going to draw that straight down through like that. Okay? Then, bear with me, just wait. We're going to come down here and draw a little line across, and what this line is going to be is the base of your petal. So you will need to decide how wide you want your petal base to be. Now I actually want mine quite narrow, so I'm only doing it 1/4 of an inch wide across the line here. Now where I put this line on this one determines how long my petals are going to be as well. So you might want fat and short, you might want long and thin, you can go for a smaller circle, but I might go a little bit lower because of what I'm showing you. So there's my 2 little marks. I'll put that line in that I'm talking about. Then all you're going to do is draw from each side of this line up to where it hits your circle on each side. And that, friends, is my petal shape. So this way you can have a look at all of these fabrics and have a look at all of the beautiful designs and things that are in there, and also with these ones particularly, where you've got these sort of shapes going on and all these beautiful mandala flowers and things, and you can design your own flowers to match these and then come through and fussy cut from them as well. Let's just trace this onto a bit of template plastic. So I'm going to mark here, I'm going to mark here, here, in here. You will do this, I'm sure, a lot better than I am, but this is going to give us a quick result now to show you. Yes, Catherine, I know, and it's all good. I know alcohol will get it off. but it's for the stand it's fine, but I do just whack everything through the dishwasher inside and it gets it off too. There you go, but thank you. Okay, we'll cut this out. My scissors are going off to the sharpener this week, so we're just going to use them for this. There we go. Around here. So whenever you need a Dresden shape, now this is not going to give you the perfect Dresden wedge that will, you know, you've still if you want a full Dresden, you've still got to do that full calculation of the angle at the base and work out how many fit round in a 360-degree circle. So we're not doing any of that. We're just giving ourselves straight up a petal shape that you can pop straight into a quill. All right, so here we go. So circle at the top, fold in half, draw a line down, and then somewhere down that line you're going to cross over the axis again and just mark it as wide as you want the base of your petal to be. I want mine to be quite small because I just want to be able to sit a little Suffolk puff or a little circle over the edge of it perhaps when I'm finished, and then I've cut one out. So now I can go to any of these beautiful fabrics and have a play. And it's just going to be a joy to do this and cut them out. I'm going to turn it over to the other side so that I can draw them on with a pencil. But I want them from all different, I don't want them all from the same fabric. I want to do all different ones. So I'm going to take one off here. I could do them all from this fabric, and when I say all, I only want about 5 petals. So you can see that's going to be a great shape. Then I'm going to take one from this little piece that I've got left over with the squares, and I'm going to pop that little flower that's on the purple background in. So what I'm doing is I'm marking where they're going to go because I want an idea of what's going to be sitting in the middle of the petal. However, I'm going to come back and do them all out of total support, so that let's do 3 for today. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm going to do one out of the purple. No, the pink. No, the purple. Can't decide. Too much choice. Just to show you how it's going to go. Now, if I'm doing that and I'm doing that, I probably want blue. This is, as I said, this is just for position because I will come and cut the actual pieces that are the finished size out of the total support and iron that over the top of these. And so with the Friction pen, they're just going to iron off, but you could do them with a grey lead or whatever you want to do. Did I have any? I did have a bit left, didn't I? Here it is. Probably not enough for, oh, we might get them. Look at that. Oh, I'm gonna wedge it. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna fit. So we'll draw around. So you could do much smaller versions of this to put a little flower in that circle on your bag flap if you wanted to have a go at that. Here it comes again. Hi. Is it one of those days? You're going to be in my face all day in the office, aren't you? Here we go. I was just thinking about that royal blue zip. If you go trio, Melba trio, it's going to bring up that little trio of purse pattern that we did way back with the border stripe from Melba. I think that, I'm sure a lot of you have got it, I think with this fat quarter bundle, with what you've you know, of all the options you've got, even if you did the satchel that I'm sending you out the pattern for, you would have enough left to make up a set of those with 1 meter of zip. So, or the pink would be really nice in the pink zip in that trio set. So you buy 1 pack of zip, 1 pack of pulls, and then just use whichever ones you want. And if you've bought the Hexi Tabletopper kit and you've got your hexagon templates in there, well, they're going to be great to reuse with this as well. There's those 3. So I'm just going to move this across to the ironing board where I've got that little one marked on there, and we'll iron that on like that. And this one. So Anzac Day, after dawn service, if you would like to come out and see us, I'll be putting on the website that we are open, but also, did you see that? Also, that we are doing an Australian morning tea, and the menu goes as follows. There will be, it's $12 a head. You help yourself to tea and coffee, and you will have a plate or a box. I'm not sure, depends how many we get. If we don't have a lot, I do plates, but if there's a lot, I get a bit nervous and I will pack it all off for you in a lovely little box you can open with your cuppa. And there will be, I'm cutting these out with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, okay. I'm doing a pumpkin scone with fresh herbed butter, with herbs from our garden, and our own pumpkins will be used, and I roast my pumpkin for my pumpkin scones, so they're lovely and rich and savoury. Learnt that a trick a long time ago from a lovely lady. And there will be macadamia shortbreads with macadamias from down a local farm that I found a tree. It's my little treasure. And I will be doing Anzac biscuits with budrum ginger in them. We had budrum ginger and white chocolate scones in our scone day yesterday, so I'll be doing those. And a little pavlova from the girls' eggs with some of our homemade lemon curd made with our lemons and the girls' eggs. So I will put that up, and if you wanted to come for a drive on Anzac Day, we would love to see you. We have no idea what the weather's going to be like now, but we've got our carports all been lined, and we've got a lovely undercover area. So if it's not warm, just rug up. The veranda is still deep enough rugged up to sit underneath in shelter, or you can sit in the carport, which is all done now. And the urn will be on, and we would look forward to seeing you. So there's those 3 cut out, and you can see I've added just a 1/4 inch seam as I have gone with my scissors, and now we need to shape these over. I would take you to the other camera, but this is on the other camera, so we'll stick with this one over here. So it's always quick and easy to do the straight lines first. So we'll do 1, 2, 3. I didn't tag glue sticks today because I do them nearly every week, but you might want to go in and grab some refills. Just check your glue stick refill stash. There we go. So we'll just fold over this side like that. That. And remember, this stays in, total support stays in. Why, Kath? What did I say? I don't know. What did I say? I'm not really. I'm not. All right. There you go. So they're down. And this one. You know, I'd do this a lot carefully if I wasn't racing, wouldn't you? That one. But just shows you how quick it is to do. And then we go back and do our corners. And I am getting a bit nervous, my glue stick's getting very low. Just be careful with these corners because you're going around that curve and your fabric's on the bias, so you just want to be careful you don't fray it too much. And remember, my favorite tool is not a tailor's oar for this. It is a cuticle stick and the flat end, as the amazing Maria Waters taught me. Okay. I've gone too far over on that one. I was racing. I need to put my glasses back on in a minute, I think. Oh, that's shocking. Hang on. Oh, I flipped. Oh, I see what's happened. When I've ironed it on, I've actually missed that I've creased my curve. Because I was racing. Okay, over you go. Over you go. Over you go. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay. Have a look at this. See that? It's too thick. I'm going to take that right down. The amount of seam allowance that I have cut is too much for the tightness of the curve on the top. So if you are ever struggling with that, just look at that first to see if your seam allowance is too big. So this one will be much better. I've got a few little bumps on there because I'm racing, but now you might say, Leesa, we've got all morning, there's no rush. However, we do have to be careful with the length of our shows, guys, when I'm trying to upload it onto YouTube. It never used to matter. Remember those big long craft and cook ones we did? But yeah, but as I said, I mean, they're getting on a bit now. They're 2020, but there are some techniques in there that you might like to use for making flowers, including the ruching and Suffolk puffs and all that sort of stuff, little blossoms. Go on, over you go. Okay. So not the best, but you get the gist, yes? Alright. So this is all about creating your own templates to do all this stuff. It looks like an ice cream cone. So this is what I'm trying to do, is start to create my little flowers, and I think another 2 petals in here is going to give me a really nice eclectic modern flower. As I said, Melissa's got a quilt in the show at the moment that looks a lot like this. If we go back to, or that kind of look, Ginny, are you sitting on the bag flap? That's not it. Puss? I need this. You are sitting on it. It's now all squished, Gin. Just want to put this back here for you. Look, look. It's been cat pressed. Alright, so as I said, in here, ruche flower, hexagon flower, anything like that. But can you imagine a little flower made with little petals like this? Would look really, really cute. So take it down a lot smaller. And the other thing that I can do with this, I can actually right now just fatten it off and chop these down if I wanted to. But I kind of like the idea of these, if they were a little bit smaller, coming up over the top into a flower here, like that. Do you get what I mean? Over on there, and then it shows off all the fabric. I'm going to draw on here for you with a Frixion pen and hope that you can see it to get an idea of what I'm talking about. Let me just No, he's dead. Do you have, my Frixians don't last very well these days. I don't know why, or I bought them all en masse. I'm putting a ruched flower over this and a big one, so I'm going to draw on here with a purple pen because it will be hidden underneath. So this is sort of what I'm thinking. That we could have a big flower with fussy cut petals. Over the top like that. Can you see that? So that sitting in there with little fussy cut bits from all the leftovers sitting over the top. And then we would have our green buckle down the bottom. So like that. So that, my friends, is just a concept for you to have a play with. You could do anything. You might have someone special. You could actually stitch out their name or something over the top in here. But there's you know, endless options to use the pre-shaping techniques and then take your inspiration from your fabric. I mean, look at that little flower there. That little guy alone is inspiration for a whole applique. So he's really sweet. Can you see the state of the desk? Can you see it from overhead? Look at it. Trashed. Absolutely trashed. In a good way. Still with a cat. Now, Instant Applique is sitting on my desk and it's tagged today because you know when we make out, or when you see when we had to make our big round ruched flowers, they're on the Baltimore, they're on everything, we tack all of the ruche in a spiral fashion onto a piece of fabric first. And the reason I love doing that is, you're right, is because I love the fact that if you've left any little gaps, if there's any little gaps that you can see through, you're seeing the same fabric underneath, so you actually don't see the gap. Then when you've got it all finished, you need to stitch down through the flower onto your background, and holding it in place sometimes can be a little bit difficult. So I want to try the Instant Applique, which is fantastic for adhering felt as well onto a background or anything, and it doesn't need heat to make it adhere. It's purely a pressure stick. So that makes it really, really cool. So two things I want to try with that. One, when we've got it tacked onto the background, we can put a little circle of this on the back and then stick it smaller than the actual finish. Then we can just tack the circle down of ruching around the edges. That would make life a lot easier. But also, because it is so sticky, maybe we can go at actually just adhering the ruche straight down onto the Instant Applique adhesive, giving it a press, and it's going to stay there, and then we can just stitch through it to put it onto a background of some sort. So that's why that is tagged today. So I'm going to have a little bit of a play, and also because it's back in stock, but I'm going to have a play with that and add that to the list of things we're going to do. Alright, so I'm going to seal this one up, even though, yes, Brie, if you're watching, I have taken this one out of stock. She put them all up yesterday. So there you go. Anyway, that's pretty much it for today. It is bright, isn't it? It's a very bright stand, but I hope you enjoyed a little bit of colour to start your Sunday or to finish off your Saturday evening, depending on where you are. And it is a creative space. You right there. Oh, you're so funny. But thank you very much for joining me. Thank you, Sue. It was lovely to see you yesterday. I'm so pleased you both came up. That was lovely. But thank you very much for watching this morning. And Bob says it looks like my desk. Yes, mine's... Hi, Cheryl. My desk has been tidy in the last couple of days because I know you all looking through the windows when you walk around the veranda, so I have to make sure I don't tidy up much, but I tidy up just a little bit. I try and remove all of the floor space, or the floor-drobe, as they call it, as opposed to the wardrobe. Petra says, back to the early days, back to the early shays. Yeah, they were fun. They were not good times, they were lockdown times, but they were times that we were able to create some content for YouTube. So thank you, Petra. I'm glad you're still getting some use out of them. But if you need a bit of noise in the background when you're sewing, you might like to have a look, everyone, and see what you think. All right, everybody, that's it. Come on, we've got lots to do today. I look forward to seeing you. Now, oh, what a week. I'm going to pop in briefly on Wednesday night and say hi, and I'll get one of these ruche flowers made to show you to pop on here. We also need to have a little bit of a remnant sale. So I'm going to get some of those ready to put up on the website. So a quick hello on Wednesday. Susie will be here with you on Thursday if you pop in, because I'm going to meet up with Gloria and she's going to handball me Priscilla. So we've got Priscilla here over Easter. And then Sunday morning on Easter Sunday, I will pop in and see you. But again, it might be quite a brief show because it is Easter. And we've got a lot on over the weekend, but I will pop in and see you. Just catch you up with what's happened so far during the week. All right. So you have a lovely day, won't you? Hope the week goes really well for you. And from Ginny and I and Rob somewhere out there, I'll see you later. All right. Bye, everyone.